Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Good evening. I'm Marissa Lessner. Thanks for joining us tonight. As the war in Ukraine continues, a local church is ramping up their efforts to support their sister church and all Ukrainians. Rachel Perry sat down with their pastor again today. Rachel, what updates does he have?
Marissa, he tells me so far the pastor in Ukraine is still there, but his family has evacuated to Poland. Now the Rockford Church has become a hub for donations, asking for medical and baby supplies.
So as you're praying, pray for the heart of Putin to be softened at some point, that there be a miracle, that his mind would change.
Hoping and praying for peace in Ukraine, churchgoers gather around the Ukrainian flag.
And if more of us can come together, we can do greater good as a unit than we can individually. But it takes each individual part.
With Ukraine's sister church not far from Kyiv, Pastor Peter Dibley of First Covenant Church in Rockford tells me their church is continuing their effort to support Ukraine.
We also did a dedication day or a collection day here at church, and so we took another donation for of finances, but also for people to bring medical supplies and the baby supplies.
Dibley says the pastor at their sister church isn't able to leave, but his wife and child have evacuated. An urgent situation for the family who have a son with special needs.
And they were sheltering in their root cellar, and their son started having respiratory problems. They were able to get to medical facility in Poland, and so their son is getting medical treatment. Hearing these stories of survival firsthand, Dibley gets emotional. The families that have been broken up. I don't know what it would be like myself if I had to leave my wife and my 2 daughters. Telling me Ukrainians need support now more than ever. So wherever you find yourself, whatever kind of help you can give, this is the time. The time is now. If you want to donate, you can visit the church, or for a full list of donation efforts, head to this story on mystateline.com. Marissa?
All right, thanks, Rachel. President Biden authorizes another $200 million in weapons for Ukraine's defense. ABC's Mary Alice Parks has the latest from the White House.
The U.S. is moving quickly to try to get more of these heavy-duty weapon systems into Ukraine. This latest announcement comes after the U.S. already sent more than $350 million in military hardware over the last few weeks. We're told this new package will include small arms, but also anti-armor, anti-aircraft systems. The Pentagon insisting that these sorts of weapons are having an impact. Now, it is noteworthy that there is still no mention of planes. Several members of Congress are still urging the White House to look for ways to get planes into Ukraine. The White House so far saying that these other weapons can be effective, that they can get them in there faster, and that Russia might view the U.S. moving planes as escalatory. Now, part of the reason they've been able to get these other weapons to the front lines quickly is that they are mostly coming from U.S. stockpiles in Germany. And we expect this next week. President Biden will also sign that large spending bill from Congress that included more than $13 billion in aid for Ukraine. That also budgets for even more lethal aid like this. Mary Alice Parks, ABC News, the White House.
Early this morning, a Russian airstrike killed at least 35 in Lviv. Another 57 are reportedly injured. Back here in the state line, a remembrance tonight for the family killed in a house fire last week. The vigil for the victims of the Garden Prairie fire starts at 7 tonight at the Belvedere High School Performing Arts Center. 5 people, including 3 kids, died in the fire early Monday morning. 6 others were rescued. We'll have more on that vigil tonight at 9 on WQRF and at 10 right here on WTVO. An effort to feed the homeless in Rockford is reaching new heights, literally. Check out this colossal tower of cans. Students from Rockford Lutheran collected all these canned goods and then had to make them look like a Rubik's Cube. The construction not only feeds hungry stomachs, but also teaches students about engineering, design, architecture, and teamwork.
Thank you, especially to the people who donated the cans. So much thanks, because I couldn't get it done myself, and with people who went out and bought cans, every teacher, every student who brought in something, every student who spent a study hall or one of their classes actually just hot gluing cans together to make it so that it looks the way it does now, I'm enormously thankful.
The students dropped off the creation at Carpenter's Place today, and all of that food will feed the homeless. Welcome back. A vision that started with one pink fire truck has now grown into a greater cause. Emery Wilder joins us now to tell us more about a local group that supports cancer victims.
Yes, Marissa, Pink Hills of Stevenson County has brought new meaning to taking a joyride.
It means a lot to ride around with these thousands of signatures, knowing that we have given the love, the encouragement, and the hope to those that need it the most.
Those signatures, visible on a big pink fire truck named Jessica, were signed by people with cancer over the years. A group of volunteers with Pink Hills, Stevenson County brings the community together to support those battling. They take Jessica the fire truck on home visits to lift the spirits of local cancer victims. Misty Peen, a 10-year survivor turned vice president of the chapter, describes her visit as an emotional experience, saying it gave her what she needed to keep pushing forward.
The support is just amazing. It was so amazing that I had to be part of this. So I said, where do I sign up? I want to do this. I want to do this for other people. I need to bring this hope to other people who are fighting too.
The organization says they received Jessica last August, allowing them to make more home visits for those in need of support. And they're looking to do even more for those battling cancer.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, hopefully, guys, you remember to set your clocks ahead 1 hour before going to bed last night. While it may have been a little rough getting up this morning, it means a sunset tonight that'll be right around 7 o'clock. In fact, our sun will set this evening at 7:01, sunset tomorrow at 7:02, so our day is getting longer, and eventually we'll get back to that pre-6 a.m. or pre-7 a.m., I should say, sunrise. Just give it another couple weeks. But hey, we've had plenty of sunshine out there and a lot of warmth too. In fact, big change in temperatures. We went from a January feel yesterday of 24 degrees to a high temperature today of 54, more typical of what we'd get towards the beginning here and middle part of April. So a big jump in our numbers, and that warmth something that'll continue over the next several days. We've had a good 30-degree plus temperature change across much of northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin, as those numbers now for most of us still in the 50s. At 52 degrees in Freeport, 54 in Rockford, 52 in Janesville, Rochelle, and you're sitting at 50 degrees right now in Dixon. It's been a little windy out there today, but it's that westerly wind that's helped bring those temperatures up. Cold front actually came through earlier today, 51 for our weather watcher Ben here up in South Beloit. Dew point temperature of 26. No rain, no snow, although we did have a couple of flurries fly across parts of the area very, very early this morning with that warm front that came through. We've had plenty of sunshine out there this afternoon. A live look with the Merced Skytrack camera now out at Poplar Grove. Looking off to the east here, we'll see a little bit more cloud cover this evening, and those clouds will be something that'll increase as we go through the night tonight. But that cold front that came through earlier today actually going to pull back north as a warm front. All that's going to do is allow a little more cloud cover to build in. So we'll see a few more clouds throughout the overnight tonight and into Monday, but our temperatures tomorrow should be able to make it back into the 50s. Tonight we drop down into the low 30s. Cloud cover and a southerly wind will keep us out of the single digits like what we woke up to Saturday morning, and teens what we did down to late last night. Southwesterly winds for us tomorrow. We hang on to a few more clouds, but some peaks of sunshine for the afternoon. High temperatures back into the low to mid 50s, so staying above average. Now there is another cold front and an area of low pressure that moved through late tomorrow night into Tuesday. That'll bring us a cloud cover. We could see a little drizzle as a result during the overnight hours, and then very early on Tuesday, maybe a very, very light shower, but notice how Futurecast very scattered on a lot of that activity that would take us into Tuesday. Winds will be a little more from the west and northwest on Tuesday behind that front, but I do think temperatures should be able to make it back into the 50s for the afternoon. We are going to see the numbers numbers dip a little bit here after warming into the 60s by the middle of this week. 60 on Wednesday, same thing on Thursday. We get a little dip in the numbers on Friday, but notice that warmth, something that'll stay with us here even as we look towards the mid to even end part of the month. And while this week looks to be fairly dry, we might actually see a better chance for some precipitation as we go into next week, as a higher probability remains for above average precipitation during that time as well. So 31 degrees, that's where we head here for the overnight tomorrow. We're back into the 50s, right up to 55 degrees for tomorrow afternoon, 54 on Tuesday. Wednesday looks good, 65. St. Patrick's Day, you've got a chance for some rain late, 60 degrees. And then we'll see that number dip there, Marissa, on Friday, but right back close to 60 by the time we get into next weekend.
Now sports with David Greenberg.
A happy Selection Sunday to all of you college basketball fans. Today, the final games before the NCAA tournament happened, including the Big Ten Tournament Championship from Indianapolis. It was number 24 Iowa taking on number 9 Purdue. Both squads already probably reached their at-large bid, but one meant a little bit more for seeding purposes. Iowa's Keegan Murray's been on a tear this tournament. He scored 26, 26, and 32 in the Hawkeyes' last 3 games, and he picks up 3 more there. Go to the second half now. Defense leads to offense for Iowa. They get the steal, push it ahead, bounce pass to Pat McCaffrey, who lays it in. 4-point Hawkeye lead, but Purdue gets it into Zach Edey. This guy's 7'4". He goes up over everyone and floats it in. Later, it's the future lottery pick, Jaden Ivey, to the basket, and he brings the Boilers back within 4. Less than a minute to go now. Iowa to inbound, up 6. Keegan Murray sneaks free behind the defense, seals the deal for the Hawkeyes. Iowa is your Big Ten tournament champs, beating Purdue 75-66. Their first tournament title since 2006. The full bracket's being released as we speak. I'll have all the takeaways later at 9 and 10.
Stay dry for us tonight. The First Warn Interactive Radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. We'll see a little more cloud cover as we head through the overnight tonight. Temperatures dropping down only to about 31 degrees. Southwesterly winds will pick up again tomorrow. We'll make it back up to 55. We'll see a little more cloud cover during the day tomorrow, and there's a chance for a little drizzle, maybe some fog overnight Monday into Tuesday. We'll hang on to some of those clouds at least early on Tuesday. High temperatures near 54. A couple of 60s Wednesday, Thursday, and then staying warm into next weekend.
Thanks, Candace, and that'll do it. We'll see you at 10.